So how am I going to approach this video? Well, I will take a look at Space Jam 1 and Space Jam 2, compare the two and divide it in different categories and see which movie comes out on top in every single category. So let's start with Space Jam 1. The movie starts with a young Michael Jordan who shoots some baskets outside in his backyard. With him is his father, who's getting all the rebounds. Michael is making shot after shot and is dreaming to become the next NBA superstar. Then what we see is one of the greatest montages I've ever seen in my entire life. A mix of Michael Jordan highlights and incredible hype music that is getting you out of your chair. The story now takes place in the mid-1990s. Jordan is announcing his retirement and the world is shocked. This, by the way, is an interesting part. Some of the events in the movie are very close to reality. And don't worry, I'm not talking about the aliens that you will see next. Now, while Michael Jordan is setting out to pursue his basketball career, we see some aliens on the planet Moron Mountain, who come up with the evil plan to enslave the Looney Tunes and bring them back to their planet in order to have a new attraction in their theme park. The aliens head for the Looney Tunes world and are just about to enslave Bugs Bunny and co. until Bugs comes up with the plan to challenge the aliens to a match of basketball. Bugs Bunny was being very smart here because the aliens at first looked very short, very tiny, and should not be a real challenge. But then those little guys steal the talents of some NBA superstars and suddenly they grow into the Monstars. In order to stand a chance, Bugs Bunny and his friends decide to go into the real world and get Michael Jordan to help them. At the end, we have the Toon Squad with Michael Jordan against the Monstars. An epic battle is about to be. Now with Space Jam 2, obviously it is a totally different storyline, but it has at least one similarity. Space Jam 2 also starts with our young star player being a child. Lebron is in his youth days in a game, taking the game-deciding shot and fails. Then we see a montage of LeBron James highlights before LeBron visits his son on the basketball court. He tells him that he has to work hard on his game. His son, named Dom, rather would like to have fun on the basketball court. However, Dom's true passion is developing video games. LeBron takes his son to a meeting at the Warner Brothers Film Studios where they show him a presentation which was developed by the algorithm called Algorithm. LeBron hates the presentation and Algorithm is upset. He tricks LeBron and his son into the server world and challenges LeBron to a game of basketball. If LeBron wins, he will get his son back. If he doesn't win, LeBron's son, LeBron James, and all the fans are lost.
James. Welcome to the Space Jam.
Now that I gave you a quick summary of both movies, let's have a look at the categories in which I will compare both movies. And the first one that I want to start with is the acting. Now when we talk about acting, I rather want to focus on the basketball players in the movies, since all the other guys are paid actors and they actually know what they're doing. In Space Jam 1, Michael Jordan does not have too much dialogue, which was a very smart decision. They knew that Michael Jordan was not the greatest actor in the world and they played the movie to his strength. Not too much dramatic acting, not too many lines. All in all, Michael Jordan did a decent job. The other basketball players in the movie also did not get too many lines, which also was great, and their performances were, let's say, solid. With Space Jam 2, the approach was totally different. LeBron James got many lines and you could see that he's not an actor. The movie had many dramatic scenes with LeBron and his son, and LeBron was supposed to transfer emotions, and it just did not work. But you can't blame it on him. I think it would have been a smarter decision to give the actors around LeBron James more lines and let them carry the movie. But that's just my opinion. So in the acting department, Space Jam 1 gets the nod. Not because Michael Jordan is the greatest actor, but the Space Jam 1 guys just did it smarter. And by the way, I'm not saying that every single player on Space Jam 1 did a great job acting-wise. Right, Charles?
I'll never get another technical. I'll never trash talk.
Yeah.
And this girl, 5 feet nothing, blocked my shot.
When did you first start having this dream?
It wasn't a dream. It really happened.
A head-shaking reaction from Shaquille O'Neal.
And I thought Kazam was bad. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, wow. Whoa. That's worse than Kazam.
And the next category that we're going to compare is the story. Now, one thing is clear. Both movies will not win the Academy Award for their stories. While Space Jam 1 had a straightforward story, Space Jam 2's story felt a little bit rushed. But all in all, I think it's safe to say that there are both no masterpieces. I personally like the story in Space Jam 1 a little bit more because it gives you more time before the actual game starts. But I think in all fairness, it should be a tie in this category.
Got a baseball game in 5 minutes.
Okay, take this.
Is it safe?
Yeah, put it in my bag.
And the next category that we're going to take a look at is the animation. The animation is pretty interesting because he can really argue about which style you prefer. I personally like the old school animation, but that was also because I partly grew up on the Walt Disney movies, Tom and Jerry, the Smurfs, and yeah, of course, Bugs Bunny. And we have to remember that the animation in Space Jam 1 at that time was phenomenal. Back in the days, it was just so tough to have a great mix of live action and cartoon. But still, I have to give the nod to Space Jam 2, because here you can see the development over the last 23 years. Visually, it just looks better and it also has a nice mix of colors. So in this category, Space Jam 2 scores. And the next category is the soundtrack. Okay, this one right here is probably the easiest one. Back in the days, the soundtrack was a vital part of the movie release. Every big blockbuster movie had their title song, music videos, and soundtrack compilations. And Space Jam probably had one of the greatest soundtracks ever. Many of the hottest artists of that era wrote a song for the Space Jam soundtrack, and we got a couple of masterpieces and evergreens. So here you have it, Space Jam 1 wins the race. And even though it looks kind of close, in reality, Space Jam 1 is by far the better movie. The movie in general just has a better feeling, better music, better acting. Space Jam 2, on the other hand, just falls short on the atmosphere. So before I finish this video, I just want to give you some more feedback about Space Jam 2 so you know my real opinion. Well, I went into the movie 4 hours ago, so my opinion is pretty fresh. And I gotta be honest, my expectations were not very high, but still I ended up being very disappointed, simply because I thought LeBron James gotta know how much Space Jam 1 means to our generation, and he will put a lot of effort in it. At least that was what I was hoping for. But the whole movie feels really rushed, no love for the details. All in all, it was not a great experience. I thought they didn't know exactly what their targeted audience was. They had many 90s references, which the kids wouldn't understand, but from the jokes in the movie, you could see it was actually aimed for kids, so it was not meat, not fish. It was somewhere, but not there where it was supposed to be. So if I would have to give it an IMDb score, I would go with 4.7 out of 10. If you are a hardcore LeBron James fan, watch it, but me personally, that's not a movie that I'm going to watch again. Anyway, thanks for listening, you guys. Hope to see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine. You all take care and goodbye.